What is an EIN? Well, an EIN is an employer identification number. Let's talk about more in depth about what it is and why you need one. First off, disclaimer, I am not your attorney. I'm not your CPA. I am just providing general information that you can find anywhere on the open internet, on the Google machine. I'm just trying to curate it all for you here in one place. That's how I learned. And I'm just kind of trying to put it in my own words to educate you here. So, what is an EIN? It stands for Employer Identification Number, and it is the tax identification of a business. So, we've got Hal, and Hal owns ABC Tile. This is Hal's Social Security card. Every person in the United States has a Social Security number. We know what it looks like. 3 numbers, 2 numbers, 4 numbers. That is the Social Security number for Hal. Now, you might have heard that businesses are like people. The United States treats a business as if it's a person. We have a whole playlist of videos about that, so check it out. If you're asking what an EIN is, it means you haven't watched those videos. We've got a few videos that go into deep depth, highly produced videos. Took a very long time to make these, so I highly recommend you go check those out because they are really, really great, and they just pack a ton of information into kind of 10-minute videos, whereas I just kind of ramble. Anyway, so Hal's got a Social Security card or an SSN. So an EIN is an employer identification number, and SSN is a Social Security number. The thing about an EIN is, do I need one? I'm not going to be an employer. I'm just going to be a business owner by myself, like Hal here. I'm just going to own it by myself. Well, yeah, you still need an employer identification number because otherwise, how are you going to pay the taxes to the IRS? It's a poorly named term. I get it. I didn't name it. Somebody else did. So the EIN is a business's tax ID. You might have heard of an FEIN, Federal Employer Identification Number, a tax ID, a federal tax ID. These are all the same thing. So the EIN is ABC Tile LLC's tax ID. It is how they tell the government, it's how they identify themselves with the government on their taxes every year. So it is required to open a bank account because the bank needs to know that you are going to pay your taxes. The government, the federal government, wants to know that you have an EIN. You don't need one for the state. The state doesn't really care what it is. But the federal government wants their tax revenue, so you're going to have to prove to them what your EIN is. So moving on, like, what is the purpose of this thing? Sole proprietors can get EINs as well, not just, LLCs or corporations. And a lot of sole proprietors get an EIN and then they convert into an LLC. And what I mean by convert is that they become an LLC. They're ABC Tile, or, it's Bob, Hal over here by himself. Hal's just getting paid as a sole proprietor. He's got an EIN because he wants a bank account, and he's got to pay his taxes. And he doesn't want to give out his Social Security number to his clients, and I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, so they don't want, the sole proprietor then wants to become an LLC. They think they can just flip that EIN. I already have an EIN. I don't need to get another EIN. False. You need another EIN. A brand new business is a brand new person. Just like Hal here has his own Social Security number, this business needs its own Social Security number. And even if it's a sole proprietorship running off this EIN, the sole proprietorship and the LLC are two different things. And so you can't use, the Social Security number for this, for the sole proprietorship for this new business. It needs to be brand new. So let's talk about why you need it. Once you become a business, you're going to engage in business relationships. You're going to sign contracts. We have a video about how to sign contracts properly once you are an entity. Watch that video. Super important. You don't want to be personally liable for anything, which you will be if you don't sign a contract properly. As the business, as the representative or the manager of the business, not as yourself. Because if you just sign it as yourself, you're a sole proprietor again, even if you have an LLC. So this is a W-9. There are, it's not a great representation of it, but whatever. Once you start doing business with others, there are going to be companies that say, hey, in order for us to pay you, we need you to fill out a W-9. And that's essentially a form that is filled out that gives the company that you're working for, that they are paying you, it is giving them the information they need to send you a 1099 at the end of every tax year so you can file your taxes, because the IRS requires that they notify the IRS, that the business that's paying you notify the IRS of anybody that they pay over $600 to in a service-based manner. So if Hal here is getting hired by a company, or ABC Tile LLC is getting hired by a company, and he doesn't have an EIN, the company that he's working for, he's contracting for, they're going to pay him over $600. They're like, hey, Hal, we need your W-9. And so Hal's like, okay, I'll fill out my W-9. But the W-9 asks for a Social Security number or an EIN. And so if you don't want to just go willy-nilly, distributing your Social Security number on W-9s everywhere, I don't know why you'd want to be giving out your Social Security number. If you don't want Social Security number flying out on W-9s everywhere for everyone you're doing business with, you're going to want an EIN. And so the EIN is kind of that proxy tax identification number that you can put on a W-9 instead of your Social Security number, which is another very important reason to get an EIN. Again, even if you are a single member, if you don't know what a member or manager is for an LLC, another video, you clearly didn't watch the playlist on Small Business 101, which goes over all this great stuff. But that's why you need an EIN, employer identification number. You don't have to employ anybody. You just need to kind of exist. Now, that's it. We're done for this. If you got value out of this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps educate more people and surface this. So if you think more people need to hear about this, please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you like my shirt, if you if there's any other stuff we didn't go over, if you need clarification on things, or I need to kind of make a new video that kind of goes into more detail or alter anything. Love to help everybody out. Alternately, if you need a business, you need business formation services, please use betterlegal.com because we try to be the most affordable, quickest, most complete offering that there is. And so if you get value out of this video, please grace us with your business. That's it for this video. See you on the next one.